I'm a little bit scared. The first Monster Hunter World trailer that released during E3 2017 looked like it was taking the series in a very new direction, with a heavy emphasis on using the environment to fight monsters, a new sort of tracking system for finding the monsters, and a large open world setting as opposed to smaller individual areas that make up a whole area. With this technically being Monster Hunter 5, it's obvious there will be changes to the mechanics, but this is why I'm a little bit scared. Innovation is always welcome, but it should be done without sacrificing what makes a game good. What makes Monster Hunter so fun is hunting monsters. From the first few trailers and gameplay demos released, it looked a lot less like a traditional Monster Hunter game and more like a westernized spin-off. I play Monster Hunter for the combat, but it seemed like the core of it was just watered down with all the new extra stuff. I'm just a little worried things have changed too much for my liking. That being said, I'm sure I'll still enjoy it either way, it just might not live up to my expectations. This is all coming from a guy who played 500 hours of Hammer, one of the most simple weapons to use in Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, and then played another few hundred hours of Hammer in Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. And then played another few hundred hours of Hammer using Guild Style, the basic of 4 different fighting styles in Monster Hunter Generations. So basically, I just really enjoy the combat in Monster Hunter even at an extremely basic level. The jump from Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate to 4 Ultimate is a good example of the right amount of innovation. In 3 Ultimate, all the fighting was done on flat ground or underwater. Underwater combat was kind of a pain in the ass, so in 4 Ultimate they removed the water and added uneven ground and ledges that you could jump off of to now mount a monster, or climb up to get away from attacks, or have a brief moment to heal up or sharpen a weapon. This was a good amount of change. It made everything feel fresh and added a layer of depth with mounting without changing things too much. Essentially, I just hope that the core Monster Hunter experience that I've come to love is available for me without needing to bother with all the extra mounting mechanics or grappling hook shit. It's starting to look promising with a lot of the recent trailers and gameplay that has been coming out. We'll find out pretty quick here if I've been worrying for nothing with the Monster Hunter World Open Beta. The Open Beta is pretty standard fare for Monster Hunter demos. They give you 3 options of quests, or hunts, a beginner, an intermediate, and an expert hunt. But before all that, you get a small glimpse of the character creator, allowing you to choose from a handful of different presets. The full version has a fairly in-depth character creator, and it's one thing I'm really looking forward to. From there, you get to pick a Palico, a little cat helper, and then you're on to the hunts. So as I mentioned, you get 3 hunts: the Great Jagras, my boy Baroth, and Anjanath. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Anjanath. Anjanath. Got it. You have the option of switching around some armor and choosing one of 16 weapons. In each hunt, you're required to track down the monster, beat the shit out of it, and then complete the quest. The new tracking system is kind of interesting. As you walk along, these green bugs, or scout flies, point you in the direction of clues like footprints or skid marks, and the more you investigate, the more the scout flies will guide you in the right direction. It makes it feel a little more like an actual hunt. You track down the monster, then kill the monster, and then carve the monster. But honestly, I'd rather just get to the hunt and kill part, but whatever, it's not really that big of a deal. A few fantastic new additions I noticed do a great job to bring some new life to the game. Literally, the world feels like it's living. Vulture-like birds feed on corpses that you leave in your wake, other monsters can show up at random to join in on the fun, and the monsters will even fight each other. There's a pecking order, and you get to see it play out in front of you. It's pretty sick. Your Palico buddy, from what I can tell, instead of attacking, takes over smaller monsters to be used in the main hunt. Not sure if this was a specific type of Palico or something. I didn't bother goofing around with the cats too much, but regardless, I think it's way cooler than just having your Palico fight like normal alongside you. You can also, from any point on the map, fast travel back to base camp and change out equipment and restock items. A cool new feature, but it brings a few small worries along with it. Monster Hunter has always been a difficult franchise, partially because you can only bring so many items along on a hunt with you. You had to really prepare before a hunt, stock up on supplies, pick the correct gear, etc, but now you don't have to do any of that. You can just swap out whenever you want, and I fear it might make it just a little too easy. Of course, this is pretty optional. I can easily just choose not to take the extra items from camp and stick with my original armor, but whatever, it's a neat little feature even if it makes things a bit easier. Alright, so that's all cool, but let's talk about the actual hunts. All of the weapons, or at least the ones I tried, play pretty much the same as previous titles, with some fancy new combos to spice things up. Everything seemed to flow together a lot smoother now, and the new dynamic movement options like sliding while moving downhill made things feel way more fluid. I did find, however, a lot of the time I was just doing things and I didn't know why I was doing them, but I think it's just because I'm not used to the new movement options yet. On the other hand, though, it was kind of cool. It made everything just flow together super smoothly, and you were kind of reacting as you were hunting, as opposed to deliberately doing specific attacks. But all my worries about Monster Hunter World missing the core gameplay that the series is known for were not needed at all. This is the best feeling Monster Hunter game to date. Not to mention, each hit makes the controller vibrate slightly, making it feel like your attacks have a real weight to them. It's a super great touch. The only worry I have now is the difficulty. All the hunts in the open beta were super easy, even the expert quest. I'm sure it's just because it's the beta and they don't want to scare anyone off, but I really hope this iteration of Monster Hunter is just as difficult as before. If there's a good balance of easy quests and hard quests, that would be fine. I just hope they haven't watered down the difficulty just to appeal more to a Western audience. Multiplayer plays the same as always, 4 dudes just being guys hunting monsters. I had the pleasure of hunting with Tommy Wiseau.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit.
And I'm happy to report I didn't fling anyone into the air with my switch axe upswing. In past games, you had to be careful where you were aiming when you attacked, so you didn't launch your pal into the air. It seems like they've taken a lot of that out, and that is okay in my books. I'm a hammer main, and it's really hard not to launch your buddies sometimes, so this is a-okay with me. The only real problem I have with Monster Hunter World is the fact that it's not portable. The last few Monster Hunter games were all on the 3DS, and we were never given Monster Hunter Double Cross on the Switch in English, so I can't play any new Monster Hunter on the go anymore. However, the game does look beautiful on the PlayStation 4, and it would not have looked so good if it was on a Nintendo console. So, there's that. But really, Monster Hunter World is fucking awesome, and I can't wait to play 1 billion hours of Hammer. Thanks for watching, you guys. If you want to watch my playthrough of the demo, check out the description for some links. Otherwise, comment below with what you're most excited about in Monster Hunter World, and maybe subscribe if you feel like it. Alright, catch ya next time, you frickin' yobs.